talk about the inspiration you received when you started your, into this line of work. When did you realize, hey, this is my calling in life?
Interesting. I think I was, I was 17 years old. I'm second generation in the business. I grew up in it my entire life. As a child, I wanted to be a doctor, so that was my focus. I was about to go to HU. It was a really interesting, I'll try to be concise, but I, was from a young age growing up around mortality. There was just something in me that wanted to heal and help save this world. And so that's where I was really kind of driven to wanting to go into the medical profession. And so all through school, I studied medical courses. Fast forward, my senior year in high school, I had a major change of heart. All of that left me, and I was lost. My father's a Vietnam vet, so he, at the same time was just trying to inspire or encourage me to start, as I figured it out, to build a foundation for myself. So, he, of course, suggested going into the military and, still have the ability to study medicine through the military. I entertained it. I swore in and swore right back out because I realized it wasn't for me. And that was at the time where I just I knew I needed to do something. And also growing up in a family that also I understood even our, the financial dynamics within it. So I realized I needed a job to help, and also just for my own independence. And it was at that point in time that I, got onto another production because I started PAing when I was 13 years old in the summers and whatnot. And so this was a moment I got on the job, and God bless his soul, Bruce Paltrow, who was a friend, family friend, who my mother worked for several times, was just the person that God put into my path in my life at the right time for me to kind of, through working on this particular job, I asked several questions. And his answers really helped guide me into realizing that I think I was around what I had meant to be doing my entire life, that I knew that I could use the art of storytelling to affect change. And so I decided to give it a shot, and it was at that point in time that I decided to make this my career. And so I went through the production route because I had spent several years being a production assistant. So from a PA to an assistant director and on into directing. But it was around 19 years old that I felt that I could do something with what I was doing. And that just continued to develop along my life. And directing found me. Because at that point, again, Bruce Paltrow was my reference point. I wanted to be a creative producer. And so, which is why I stayed in production and climbed the ladder. And it was on The Wire, actually, that it really kind of, it was one of those things where I had started to get the taste of the deeper creative aspect of the process, which was directing, and I was interested in it. I'd been around and had the blessing of working with so many great artists and just being a sponge throughout the process and learning. And it was that moment when, thankfully, what I was questioning was affirmed and confirmed by my producers coming to me and telling me that I was deserving of the opportunity the following season to direct. And so I just felt like it was, it's one of those things that, it really kind of came to me. And the rest is history. Here I am.
This is Gary George with the Inland Valley News reporting